Trump's a deal maker. And the upside is AI is either going to make us all very healthy and live till 200 years old or kill us all really quickly. And so it's not going to be a long, lingering process. But I do think that this AI thing would have taken hold had Kamala been elected as well. And you're 100% right. Everything else would have been far, far worse. Yeah. And so this was a train that was never going to stop. It's like the car being invented, the airplane being invented. It's happening whether people want it or not. Yeah. And I think it's administration and political ideology agnostic.
God, yep, I see that. Okay. Sorry, one more question. I was going to say, would you get off of all social media and just stop? I try to tell my kids. My son looks at me like I have 3 heads. I'm like, honey, he'll make jokes in the car. And I'm like, I know you think it's funny and I know you think you're just with me, but both of our phones are on right now. And he looks at me like I'm nuts. I'm like, there's no way this thing isn't listening to you. There's no way it's not profiling you. Every text you send, every freaking thing you like, this China credit score thing. Do you think that happens here where like every party you go to, someone's got a cell phone, every gas station there's a camera, you check out at Whole Foods, you better put organic bananas, not regular bananas, if it's a freaking organic banana, and don't put the freaking banana on the thing. My kids think I'm insane, but I feel like somewhere, something is keeping score, and one day we're going to experience that dossier. Do you think that's true, or is that like uber paranoid and this whole like credit score that they have, social credit score that exists in China, can never happen here?
Oh, it's happening. It's happening. I mean, look, Jillian, when you have a second and you're with your kids, take your cell phone, call somebody, and talk about a product. I don't know. I just saw the new Porsche Panamera, and then go on a Facebook and see how quickly a Panamera ad pops up on your profile, or a Porsche ad, or an ad for a BMW 5 Series or one of the competing models to the Panamera. See how quickly that happens. It happens all the time. So they already use the microphones and cameras on our devices to market to us. Social credit is already happening with debanking, right? They're deciding which industries and which political ideologies are more acceptable to the institutions. And so it's happening today, and people are experiencing it every day.
What would you do? Would you generally withdraw? See, this is the part where you and I sit here and we have these conversations, and I think, I'm like a little pissant. But, Rogan's alive. As long as Rogan's alive, I'm like, they haven't killed Joe yet. They haven't killed Tucker. They haven't killed Megyn Kelly. Like, they're alive. So you kind of think, they're here and I'm all the way down there. I mean, I guess it's okay. But I strongly wonder.
But you're not, though. You have a big following. You got to do this, right? You're a globally recognized brand. You have a platform. I think, I'll jokingly say we got to keep going to our Illuminati parties like with the Wolverines and fighting the Russians and North Koreans in Red Dawn. But I think it's really imperative for people with platforms to keep speaking up, marketing themselves and growing the platforms, because sunlight's the best disinfectant. The more popular you become, the larger your platform, the louder your voice, the more difficult it is to silence you. I mean, you could do it to 1 or 2 people, but not a network. I don't mean network in the sense of a broadcast or digital network, but a network of people who coordinate their messaging and amplify the concerns. It becomes more and more difficult for the institutions and the powers that be to silence a large group and mass messaging than it is to silence 1 or 2 people operating in the shadows. Look, they tried to do it. I've never been a fan of Alex Jones. I saw the crime scene photos from Sandy Hook. I think what he said about the kids being crisis actors was absolutely reprehensible. But should it have been $1 billion? That was also insane. And so you see how they try to do it. I think that was insanely punitive. But you've seen the primitive way with him and others, that the canceling people because of something they texted a friend in college and canceling their nightly news show on Fox. So you see how they're doing it, and AI is going to make it easier to do. So it's incumbent upon those platforms to get as loud and as large as possible.